You want to be a real estate developer and you want to know how to start? The answer is real simple. Just start. It's really that simple. So let me kind of explain a little bit about who I am. I'm Shaun J. Ford, a real estate developer as well as author. I'm 42 now, raised in Columbus, Ohio, the Columbus, Ohio. And the reality of it is how do you start is, yet again, as I said, you just start. And so I started at the age of 21, and over the last 21 years, I have successfully executed over 240 projects, ranging from single-family renovations to retail leasehold build-outs to commercial property, multifamily, and now land development. And so how I started was real simple, right? I read a few books because, as you know, wisdom and information is power, especially when you apply it. And so what I have intuitively always understood about life is that the goal can never be perfection. The goal is progress. And see, perfection is the enemy of great because you create an illusion and a fantasy about all of these circumstances needing to be ideal before it's go time. And what I believe in anything is taking a grassroots effort or an MVP approach, minimum viable product, meaning I'm going to do the least I have to do initially or create the least amount of barriers. And then you figure it out along the way. And so my journey of figuring it out centers on three principles: prayer, persistence, and patience. So let me explain. So here I am, 21 years old, right? Got a little bit of seed capital, decided that, you know what, I want to grow rich in real estate. And so that was what I did. So what I did is I first initially started buying HUD and VA foreclosures. Shout out to Mikhail Henderson, affectionately known as HUD Queen, is who I started with. So I haven't seen her or spoken to her in a while, but hey, game recognized game. And so what I would do is buy these homes, and I typically looked for a 25% or greater margin, meaning from acquisition, renovation based on the after repair value, that I had at least a 25% margin to ensure that I was protected and profitable within that transaction. And I did really well. I typically was always able to rehab every home in under 60 days. Once the home was on market, never took me longer than 44 days to sell a home. Was always profitable. And so how I did that was two things. Number one, I always made sure that any project that I participated in, that I focused on the basics: kitchen, bathroom, curb appeal, right? And then always focusing on some little sweet or special sprinkle, meaning something that was going to make my property stand out in that price point beyond other properties. And how I achieved that was really something really simple through common sense, right? Which is to make sure that I paid attention to detail, right? So garage floor epoxy, asphalt driveway resurfaced, clean, smelled good, all the bulbs worked, everything was sparkling, everything was new or nearly new, right? Because ultimately people respect and value genuine effort. And here's the secret, folks. To be successful at almost anything, whether it be in real estate, business, customer service, you just have to do what others are not doing, right? And then generally, attention to detail and attention to customer service is so bad, it's actually easy to stand out. And that is how I grew in real estate. Beyond that, again, heavily experienced in retail leasehold build outs for many of my own retail brands all across the country, 15 stores in 11 different states. That's a whole nother conversation. And even in recent light, helping to be one of the interior build out leads for the new Black Wall Street based in Stonecrest, Georgia. And even as recent, with our single family builds, with our multifamily builds, as well as our large scale developments, 4 minutes from Intel, the overall goal is understanding that to be effective or to make it a reality or to make it possible, you really just have to what? Number one, prayer. So prayer is critical, because if you want to know the intention for a thing, it'd be wise to ask the creator, right? And so I am called to be a builder of city, a builder of people. And in that, I understand that for any and all great things to happen, it's going to take a considerable amount of what? Persistence and patience. Because the reality of it is anything great, anything built, anything created was a process. And that is the ugly truth that most people don't realize, is that the process is this. You begin with the end in mind and you work in reverse. So if I want to go there in 5 to 10 years, what do I have to do today to make that possible? And that is where persistence and patience is going to be critical, because long before the dream or vision rewards you, it will test you. When you look in the good book, any and all figures that you see in it had to endure a giant or a wilderness experience. And if you really pay attention to the good book, it really is not only history, but it is about land, journeying to the land, taking the land, or getting the land back. The good book is really a book about real estate. It's that simple, but you got to pay attention. And so ultimately, if starting or being persistent or being patient is something you want to learn how to do, my new app that will debut in about a month from now, so in April of 2025, called Developer Nation, is the perfect solution to making your dream a reality. And so what we will do at Developer Nation is we will partner with you to not only teach you how to be a real estate developer, whether you want to rehab homes, whether you want to build homes, whether you want to build multifamily, whether you want to acquire multifamily, renovate, restabilize, whether you want to be in large scale land development, whether it be, commercial, residential, industrial. We have not only the experience, we not only have the relationships, but we have the expertise. And so again, click in the link in the bio, register so that you will be the first to learn when the app debuts and drops, because I want to partner with you by not only teaching you, but also funding those projects. Obviously, each project has to be viable, has to be feasible, and it has to be in alignment with what can be financed in today's markets. Because as you'll learn in a future episode, there are really 3 things that make any development possible or any project possible, which is number 1, what do you want? Number 2, what will banks finance? And number 3, what will the city or municipality allow you to build? But guess what? It's actually an inverse relationship, which is everything begins with what the city or municipality wants, followed by what will the banks finance, and then last but not least, what do you want as the developer? But in any and every project, we'll always enter it with 3 to 4 exit strategies, because that is wisdom. We plan until the end. We plan for the unexpected, because that is wise, sound business. And so with that being said, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, because I will partner with you in the journey that is being prayerful, persistent, and patient to help you become the real estate developer that you were called to be. I'm Shaun J. Ford as always. And as I always like to say, all things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. I'll see you in the next one.